Hello, gorgeous beings of light. This is Elmara from the Gaia One Temple, One Earth, One People, One Love. I wanted to share with you how the prayer of protection was born, and because it comes with a few gorgeous miracles that I was reminded of when I was doing a session with somebody yesterday. And it also it's just so important because it reminds us that even when we think we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing, or we're not living our life purpose, that things are happening because you're exactly where you need to be. And it reminds us that everything is perfect, even when it doesn't look that way. Absolutely everything, or even when we can't see that. So I was in my 30s and I was working 3 days a week in an office in town, and on the other 2 days of the week I'd go across. There was the biggest cemetery in Brisbane opposite me, and I'd go across there and take all these lost souls home. So I was a gatekeeper at the time for spirit, but I wanted to be working full-time in spirituality. And you know, I thought I did not like my job in the city. I mean, at the time I didn't like it, it's the truth. I thought I'd be there 6 months, and I was there for bloody years. But I learnt so much. And the reason I learnt so much was because I was on a floor with 350 other different people. And I learnt how to protect my energy. I learnt how to stay within my own being. But the big miracles that I'm about to share with you are the ones that were most important. So I want you to firstly realize that you're doing your purpose no matter where you are. And if you get that, no matter what you're doing or what's been put in front of you, that's your purpose, and that's what you should be doing, and that's what you should be giving service to right now. Don't try and be anywhere else. Show up and be 100% present in whatever you're doing right now, and everything will flow a lot easier, and it won't take you years to get out of something you don't think you like doing. It will just be presented to you on a moment-to-moment basis, and once you learn your lesson, you can move on. I was just a slow learner back then. So I worked on this floor with 350 people, and because of my empathic abilities, I would just be picking up everyone's shit all day, every day. And so I was told by Spirit to put up this pyramid of protection over the top. Oh, no, actually, what happened first was that I put up a cylinder of light. That's what it was. I put up a pillar of light or a cylinder of light. And that pillar of light went from the center of Earth all the way up. I was on the 3rd floor, and then all the way up to the sun above, and this pillar of light. But because I work with 350 people, and because of the laws of the universe, I couldn't put that around anyone else's space. So I could only put it around my office desk where I worked. So there was this pillar of light that went all the way up to the sun and all the way down into the core of Mother Earth, and I could then work there quite easily. But going on sometimes, some lovely guy, Anthony was his name. I remembered his surname now, but I won't give you that. But Anthony would come over from the other side of the office where there was other people, and he, after a while I noticed, and he'd come over and go, "Oh, it's so gorgeous here, Elle, it's so gorgeous." And he obviously was sensitive enough himself to be able to feel the energy that was within my pillar of light. But it took me a little while to work out that every time after he left, I'd feel like shit because he was dumping all of his shit in my little pillar of light. And so I was just like, oh my God, so that's when Spirit said, to add the line into the pillar of light before it became a pyramid of golden crystalline light, but to put, make it so that he left his stuff outside the wall of golden crystalline light, and if he wished, he could. I think back those days in my 30s, we only used gold light. It only became golden crystalline light in my 40s because the energy shifted. At the turn of the century, it went from white light to gold light, and now it's really golden crystalline light. 30 years on or whatever. And but anyway, so I'd asked him to do that, and then I'd asked them to leave his stuff outside the pillar of golden crystalline light, and if he wished he could pick it up when he left. Otherwise it was simply dissolved by the wall of crystalline light. And when Anthony came to visit after that, I didn't feel like crap anymore. And when he left, he still felt great. I don't know what he did about his stuff, but I was no longer affected by his energies when he came to visit me in my workstation. So, and the other thing that happened when I was working there at that time, some wonderful healer, I can't remember his name, came out from England, and he said to me, "Oh my God, you're this amazing being." And I was like, "Oh, I want to do my spiritual work full time. How come it's not happening?" And he was just like, "Oh no, you're actually doing it. You're absolutely doing it." He said, "You're going into that city. You're such a powerful being. You're going into that city and you're clearing out all the negative energy. But the problem is you're not letting go of it." And I was just, for me, that just all sounded like oopty-goopty, too much stuff to kind of comprehend. But he did tell me that I should go outside into a park and then just let go of all of the negative energy in my being. He wanted me to do it twice a day. So if I had, a lunch break, to do it in my lunch break, and then to do it when I got home or whatever, but twice a day. And if I had a tea break and I had time, I could go do it, or I felt particularly heavy, I could do that as well. And so my job, he said, was to go out and, and there was just, incidentally, there was a park on top of a food court, and underneath the food court was, car parking station. But on top of the food court was a park that people could sit in, and it was opposite the post office. It was called Post Office Square from memory. Anyway, so I began doing this. But the first time I went out to dump the negative energy, God, I felt so different after I did it as well. I just brought the energy of the sun down and then just pushed anything that was out of alignment with my being. I pushed that energy down and into the earth. But they had said to take it 18 inches below the earth's surface, and Mother Earth would just transmute that and make fertilizer for the plants out of it. But of course, my ego got in the way and said, "Oh my God, I can't. If I take it down through the earth, then it might end up in someone's sandwich getting their lunch, or it might, run into a car and they'll hit a pole in the car park." So I was just like, "Okay, God, just take this energy and pop it just here in this little park above the thing. Don't take it below the earth's surface. I don't want to cause any stuff." Which again is just our freaking ego interfering instead of just doing it. But anyway, so 6 months on, you could see I always stood in two particular places and took my shoes off because there was patches of clover there, and it was soft on my feet. And I always stood in those two places. And people have said to me, "Oh, well, it's because clover comes and dies." But there was other patches of clover. There was only just these two that were closest to my office. It was quite a large park in the middle of the city, which was lovely. And so I started dumping this negative energy, in the ground underneath my feet, but not down right below the earth's surface because of the car park and the eatery below. It didn't take long. Maybe 12 weeks later, you could see these massive, massive dead patches in the lawn where I was depositing the negative energy out of my body every day. And I was just like, "Oh my God, I've killed the Lord," or whatever. And so, anyway, so we, I get eventually they came and they decided to patch up the lawns, and there was places where people walked from the cement onto the lawn, and they were all just kind of like worn through. So they replaced them with, those grass patches they do with lawn. And then they also did the two patches that I'd killed. But what was ironic was that once people started to walk on there, that was all fine again. But the two patches where I was were still dead. And I went, "Oh my God, I did that." And first of all, when I said, "Oh my God, I killed that stuff," Spirit said to me, "Yes." I said, "But I didn't want it to get in someone's sandwich or whatever." And they said to me, "For God's sake, Elle, just ask for it to be taken 18 inches below the earth's surface, and it'll end up 18 inches below the earth's surface. You don't have to try and control that. Just ask for what you want and it will happen." So after that, I started doing that, but the dead patches were still there. Then they come along and they fix the lawn 6 months later. And it begins to grow again in the other places that they replaced, but not where mine was. And I went, "Oh my God, how come mine's not going?" They went, "Because all that stuff you dumped there in the past is still there." So I went down, and this is so important. I went down and I just asked for all of that energy that I had let go of and that was still in the car, in the park. I asked for all of it to be taken and placed 18 inches below the Earth's surface. Well, within 3 days, that lawn went green again. So, and you can go, oh, that's a bit woo-woo. And it is, it's very woo-woo. But it taught me a lot of things. I mean, and from there, you know, after that is when they actually taught me to put a pyramid of golden crystalline light. Because obviously once I started doing that, my energy became more sensitive, and I pick up stuff just walking down the street, and that's how the pyramid of golden crystalline light was born. And we would do that any time I went out in public. But as I said in my last video, it's really important now that you actually do that night and morning, just because we're 3 decades on and light workers need to be protected even when they're sleeping now. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope that helps you to see that you're in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. You're doing exactly what you're meant to be doing. And if you can bring yourself into the present moment and just be of service, and that's whether you're cleaning toilets, whether you're working in a bank, whether you're working in a cafe, no matter what you're doing, if you just show up fully in this moment and give of yourself in this moment and know that there's something there for you to learn. I had heaps and heaps and heaps of more lessons that I learned in the time that I was there. But a lot of it was about protecting my energy. A lot of it was learning to stay centered in my own being. A lot of it was not reacting to other people's shit. And a lot of it was learning to be myself despite not being like the other 350 people on the floor. There was probably 1 or 2 people I really related to. I don't even think I know anyone from that time when I worked there. But I was just really, I was like I was never the black sheep of the family or the black sheep of my workplace. I was always the rainbow sheep of the most colourful person there. But I learnt to be that colourful person. And when I was first there for the first few years, I had a boss who loved me. I had a boss who loved me and let me get away with blue murder is the truth, because I would walk in and go, Jerry, you gorgeous human being, good morning. And he just he was a grumpy old thing and he drank a lot, but I just treated him like really special, and in the end I did get away with blue murder. And for the first few years I was there anyway. So you'll never be given anything that you can't handle, and you're always in exactly the right place at exactly the right time. And it was through that this saying, everything is perfect, even when it doesn't look like that. Everything is perfect, even when it doesn't look that way. Absolutely everything is what Spirit taught me. So I hope that's of great benefit to you in your life. I hope it helps you realise that you're exactly where you need to be, and you are doing exactly what you need to do, and all you need to do is connect into your heart and let that love and light and the gorgeous being of light you already are shine out into the world, because there's nothing for you to fix, there's nothing for you to do except remember who you truly are already. Love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all. Please remember you must be over 18 years of age and have read and fully understood and agreed with the terms and conditions on our website, www.elmaraseraphin.com. And if you live on the south coast of New South Wales or anywhere else in Australia, if you'd like to discuss my workshops or my circles, I will be back down in Victoria from November onwards anyway. But I'm running a spectacular Starseed and Light Language Activation Workshop, 2-day workshop. And you can find out more about those at www.facebook.com/Elmara, ELMARA 1111, or the numbers 1111. Alrighty, love, love, love. My deepest love and richest blessings to you all always. Have a truly blessed day. Namaste, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.